EA Sports. It's in the game.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my 100% race series, and today we present F1 2000. Oh my goodness, we're going to play as Eddie Irvine once again, but this time he's going to be in the Jaguar car because of course he left Ferrari after the 1999 season. And just before we get into the race, you can see this game has a custom grid, which means you can put all the drivers in their correct positions for all the 2000 races and have a proper race where they should be on the starting grid. It's absolutely fantastic. So there you go then. So let's get into this. A couple more settings to go through. Of course, we're going to ramp it up to full difficulty, and of course we're going to race at Indianapolis, which of course was the first time in 2000 that this race was run. Okay, so sadly no Murray Walker in this game, but we have got Jim Rosenthal, so it's over to him now for the running order for this race.
Welcome to the Indianapolis circuit, home of the United States Grand Prix. The formation lap's well underway, so let's take a look at the grid positions for today's race. On pole, Mika Häkkinen. Second place, Michael Schumacher in the leading Ferrari. Third place, David Coulthard. Fourth place, Jacques Villeneuve. Fifth place, Rubens Barrichello. Sixth place, Trulli. Seventh place, Heinz Harald Frentzen. Eighth place, Ralf Schumacher. Ninth place, Ricardo Zonta. 10th, Johnny Herbert. 11th, Wurz. 12th, Fisichella. 13th, Pedro Diniz. 14th, Alesi in the leading Prost. 15th, Jos Verstappen. 16th place, De La Rosa in the second Arrows. 17th, Genet. 18th, Nick Heidfeld. 19th, Salo. 20th place, Jenson Button. 21st, Gaston Mazzacane. 22nd place, Eddie Irvine. So they're lining up in their grid positions. All that's left is the race start.
Okay then, so 52 torturous laps at the Indianapolis circuit. The 5 lights go out and we say go, go, go. So it's away he goes for Mr. Eddie Irvine from last position. Now, of course, there's a reason why we are last, and that is if anyone's played this game, they will know that it is fairly easy. Unfortunately, that's one of the... Oh, look at that. Wowzers, but trousers. One of the Saubers has completely lost his rear wing. We've got yellow flag. And yes, rear wings can go flying in this game. And oh, we seem to have gained quite a few positions there and not got a penalty for it. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, it's all good. Up into 9th position now. 9th position for Eddie Irvine, still on the first lap, of course. Only 13 seconds into the lap, and we're chasing hard on Ralf Schumacher, who's in the Williams. Yes, the Williams BMW for 2000 with, of course, that brand new livery. They changed from, of course, the red and little white accents, and there was a bit of blue in there as well, wasn't there, for the Williams car of 1999, and they've gone for, of course, the white and blue livery, which of course incorporates the BMW in the back of that car. As we're trying for a move now on the inside of 2 cars here. 2 cars, we've got a Jordan on the outside. That's Heinz Harald Frentzen, of course. Oh, we've got another yellow flag. What's going on now? Can't quite see. We've got another car off the circuit. We have got another car just coming round to it now. Look, we got an engine failure. I think that's... No, it's one of the BARs. That was Jacques Villeneuve. So up into 8th position now for Eddie Irvine. Still chasing hard on Ralf Schumacher ahead. And we've got green flags now. So it's time to once again say go, go, bloody well go. This game is absolutely fantastic, and it was trying to come out and beat every other Formula 1 game by being out before the real life F1 season started. Unfortunately, it didn't quite make it. It missed it by 1 week. We'd already had the first round of the 2000 season, and then this game came out. But there was an absolutely triumphant effort as we're trying to get past Heinz-Harald Frentzen in the Jordan, and we do get past. So up into the points already. Oh, it's contact with the other Jordan ahead. Oh, all going all over the place now. It's all gone Pete Tong for Mr. Eddie Irvine. And Ricardo Zonta in the other BAR, of course Jack Villeneuve has gone out, has managed to get past us, so we're down to 9th position now. So yes, this game came out 1 week after the season started on television as the Benetton driver goes past us. That was Alexander Wirtz. Wowzers, absolute wowzers. So we're down to 10th place now, 10th position, but it's going to be okay because, as I've said, we do catch up pretty quickly to these cars. Of course, even though we're on the highest difficulty level, it's not a very difficult game. Now, the handling in this game is absolutely fantastic. It really is. And you can actually tweak the settings. I think there's a little bit of a glitch in it as well. So it actually handles like it's on rails. Yes, you don't actually spin out or anything going around the corners. I think it's a suspension glitch that you have to turn right up or right down. But one of those anyway. And it makes the car handle just like it's on rails. It's absolutely fantastic. We haven't done that for this race, of course, because we're not into cheating during these races. So we're just on the default settings as Eddie Irvine puts in a fastest lap, everyone. Yes, a fastest lap. So yes, the most surprising thing about this game is that it was made by Visual Sciences, who made F1 98. Oh, goodness gracious me. We've gone straight into the back of Ralf Schumacher in the Williams car. So we can't get it back on again. We're spinning on the curbs, but we managed to just, yes, we do. So now we're down to 11th place now. 11th place behind John Alesi in the Prost car. Yes, the Prost car. So as I'm saying, yes, this game was made by Visual Sciences, who made F1 98. What you say? How can this be possible? Well, it was made possible by one serious contribution from a certain, trying to get past Lacey, by a certain Mr. Pete Smith, who was the associate producer on Formula 1 97. And he is the producer on this game, and his contribution to this game cannot be understated, because it is absolutely epic that they managed to get someone from F1 97 to put that little bit of extra spit and polish. Now, of course, that wasn't the only reason. The other reason was because they were backed by some serious money now from EA Sports, who decided they want to get in on the act on this lucrative Formula 1 market as we accelerate forward out of lap 4, going for a move now on Ricardo Zonta. So yes, up into 9th position now for Eddie Irvine. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Now you can see some of the particle effects that you get from the cars are absolutely fantastic. If you make contact, you get these little tiny bits that fly up off your car, and it's just absolutely glorious. The graphics are absolutely fantastic. Just look at them. For a PS1, don't forget this is an early PS1 game. The graphics are absolutely fantastic. As Michael Schumacher on lap 8 now is currently in the lead of this Grand Prix. We go try to go past Ralf Schumacher once again, trying to go around the outside of him. Do we get past? No, still don't. So we dive it into the inside there and manage to get past, up into 7th position now. Next target is Heinz-Harald Frentzen as we accelerate forward out to lap 9. And here we go on Heinz-Harald. We managed to get past, so that's the first Jordan dispatch. The second one is in front. Of course, that's Jarno Trulli. And of course, Jarno Trulli replaced Damon Hill, who was in the Jordan for 1999 and spent most of that season moaning like a complete bitch. Yes, a complete whiny little bitch was Damon Hill in 1999. Oh, the car doesn't work properly. It doesn't turn into the corners properly. Oh. Funny that, it seemed to work okay for Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Anyway, we continue as we cross the line on lap 9. Still in 6th position, so in the points, and Michael... Oh, look at that! Wowzers! Fantastic! Yes, the car in front, that Jordan has blown up right in front of us, so up now into 5th position for Eddie Irvine. 5th place. Yes, it's absolutely great that the cars in front absolutely blow up sometimes right in front of you. And this, of course, is done on purpose to up the tension. Basically, if you look at it, you're in this big bubble, and anything that happens in the race is usually done around your car. You get a couple of incidents that occur at other places in the track, but basically basically it's all about your car and what happens in front of you or behind you. As we accelerate forward now to lap 16, as we go for a move now on David Twat Coulthard, and he almost takes us out. Wow, David is being, well, he's being David actually, isn't he? Yes, David Twat Coulthard almost takes us out, but we're up now to third position and in the middle of these two McLarens. Oh, it's a McLaren just exploded in front of us. Now that's what I say about this bubble that's in front of the car. So Mika Häkkinen has blown up his car in front of us, so we're up into second place now. Second place for Eddie Irvine, just Schumacher in the lead of this race now on lap 18. Now you may have noticed that I have got some damage to the front of the car, but it's only a slight bit of wing damage and it doesn't affect the handling, so I've decided to carry on until my first pit stop. In fact, I think I'm only going to make one pit stop in this race because it's going to be a very, very short 100% race at Indianapolis due to the high speed nature of this circuit. And look at this, we've got our teammate ahead of us now. Our teammate is now our back marker, and there I think is Michael Schumacher ahead of him. He's also having some trouble with a back marker, and I do believe that's one of the Minardis. Yes, the absolutely glorious livery of that Minardi in 2000. But let's see if we can catch up to the back of Michael Schumacher. We're just 1.6 seconds behind him now as we go a little bit wide into that corner there. And look at this, Michael Schumacher's trying to get past that Minardi, and our teammate is trying to get past Michael Schumacher. Oh, this could be a cluster. This could be a cluster. But oh, look at that. And once again, our teammate has now blown up in front of us. Our bubble has worked once again and our teammate is gone, so that now gives us some more clear air to get up to the back of Michael Schumacher, getting very, very close to his gearbox now. Of course, he's not making much progress because he's still trying to get past this Minardi backmarker car in front of him. So we now go round the oval section of the Indianapolis Grand Prix. Can we catch up to the back of Michael Schumacher and get into the lead of this race on lap 19 going to lap 20? Well, we're going to see now because I think Eddie Irvine is going to do a little dive down the inside as we go into the next turn. Oh, look at that. Michael Schumacher pulled straight out in front of us. Yes, the AI are pretty epic. They do defend the line if you're coming up behind them. So they don't just sit there in a line and not do anything. They actually defend it if you try to get past them, which is another huge dollop of icing on our already huge cake of F1 2000. And as you can see, Michael Schumacher is still trying to get past this Minardi, which is going to give us more of an opportunity to try and catch up to the back of him, because of course this Jaguar hasn't got the performance of the Ferrari car. We go past, yes, up into the lead on lap 20 for Eddie Irvine. Wowzers, me trousers. Now, unfortunately, there is a few complaints about this game. One of them, of course, is that it is very easy. It is pretty easy, as to be said, even on the high difficulty. I'm just going through some of the other camera views, and there it is, everyone. The fantastic. I'm going to show you in a moment in more detail the cockpit view, because oh, it's just absolutely epic. Anyway, this is now lap 22, getting pretty close to our one pit stop that we're going to make in this race as we're trying to get past now. Now, this is Jenson Button in the sister Williams car. Of course, his first season in Formula 1 in 2000, just 20 years old. Yes, just 20 years old, and we managed to go around the outside now. This is going to get very, very dicey though. Oh, look at this. The car's darting all over the place for Jenson Button. Of course, there's no blue flags, unfortunately, in this game, but we just got to pass Jenson Button, and we go down the inside, and yes, we do. So, still holding on to this first place now for Eddie Irvine. Oh, Jenson's coming back at us, but we're still holding on as we accelerate forward now to lap 24. So this is the T-Cam view, as you can see, which is pretty decent, has to be said. But this, everyone, is the absolutely glorious cockpit view. Just look at it. Absolutely beautiful. And when you're in this view, the handling just feels so syrupy. So syrupy. It really does. It's just absolutely beautiful, the handling of the car. And you can see that you can see far into the distance. You can see the cars right in front of you, because they've actually lowered the view down a little bit, I do believe, so that you can see more of the track and the cars in front, unlike a lot of cockpit views where you really can't see where you're going. But this is absolutely glorious. And I'll tell you, when I first started playing this game, I just played it continuously in cockpit view because it was just beautiful, just beautiful. Anyway, lap 26, it's time for our pit stop. We now have some warm tyres as well, as you can see from the right hand corner of the screen, and we've got no fuel, so we're only going for a one stop. As you can see, that is our strategy, one stop race. We've just lost the lead, as you can see, down to second. Of course, we need our front wing repaired, so this is going to take quite a long time. Now, of course, there was refueling in 2000, which did take even more time as well. But I thought, oh my goodness, this is a very, very long stop. A very, very long stop indeed. I think we're going to go for 18-second stop there. And look at this. Look, we've got stickers on the tyres, just like Formula 1 97. Wowzers. Absolute wowzers. I wonder if Pete Smith had any say over that, but yes, it's just glorious that you get the little stickers on the tyres. Now, of course, these are now groove tyres for 2000 season, as you can see, and that's all been faithfully replicated in this game. So we rejoin now in 5th position behind, oh my goodness, it's Ralf Schumacher once again on lap 27. We've only been at the race for 31 minutes, so this is going to be a very, very short 100% race. Now, none of the other cars, as far as I know, have come into the pits yet. I'm a little bit dubious, actually, that they are going to come in at all, which is very, very strange, because on the shorter races, even like 16 laps, they do come in for one pit stop. Anyway, we accelerate forward now to lap 28. And we're trying to get past Ralf Schumacher, which we managed to do, so up into 4th position now. Next target is Rubens Barrichello, of course, in the Ferrari car. Oh, we've binned it. That's because we went to the cockpit view too quickly, and we've lost the place back to Ralf Schumacher, so we've got to see if we can catch up back to him now. This is now lap 28 of this Grand Prix, as we accelerate forward now. Still on lap 28, we managed to get past Ralf Schumacher once again. Just looking into the pits, I still can't see anyone come into the pits, so I'm pretty dubious now as to whether anyone is going to pit at all. Maybe it's because the circuit is a very, very fast race, even on 100% race distance, that none of the teams are going to come in. Wowzers. Anyway, we accelerate forward to lap 31. We've now got Rubens Barrichello in that Ferrari directly ahead of us as we go around the start and finish line of this circuit, and we're going to see if we can send it down the inside as we go into turn 1. Are we going to? And the answer to that is, of course, yes, we are. Well, we tried to. Now, look at that. Did you see the brakes glowing there as we applied the brakes into turn 1? Yes, we've got glowing. We've got everything in this game. Absolutely everything. Now, the only thing we haven't got is the correct livery for the Orange Arrows team. Yes, because unfortunately this game came out so quickly that it was before the sponsorship deal with Orange was announced for the Arrows team. Now, of course, they've been teasing with us all the time through 1999. If you remember the livery on the side of the car, it had this sort of countdown timer on it, which was counting down the days until the sponsorship with, oh Jesus Christ, oh no, was that Jenson Button? I think it was. We made contact with Jenson Button and he's turned himself round. So anyway, we carry on because he was a back marker on lap 34 now. So yeah, oh no, we binned it. Wowzers. Yes, we've had a binnage, everyone. We've had a binnage. But we still hold on to 3rd place at the moment on lap 34. Yes, lap 34. So as I was saying, they had this sort of countdown timer thing on the side of their car, if you remember, during 1999 for the Arrows team. And that, of course, was the countdown until they had the sponsorship with Orange. Now, of course, that was one of the other reasons why 6 months later they released F1 Championship Season, which was basically this game with a few improvements, and one of those was the correct livery for the Orange Arrows team. Anyway, we accelerate forward in lap 38. We've managed to catch up to the back of David Twat Coulthard, and you can see we've got quite a few retirements on screen, but can we get past Coulthard and into 2nd place? I think we may be able to. He's got, of course, a Prost in front of him that he's trying to get past. Rubens Barrichello is now 17 seconds behind us in a Ferrari. Yes, 17 seconds behind the Jaguar. Yes, it doesn't seem possible, but of course, don't forget, as I said earlier, this game is pretty easy, it has to be said, which is a shame because oh no! Oh, that's fucked it. That's fucked it completely. We have actually hit the barrier. We've got a wonky tyre. You can see it's wobbling, so we've got to come straight into the pits for an unscheduled pit stop. Oh, wowzers. Well, that's blown our chances of getting up into the lead completely. I think completely on lap 38. And you saw that the front wing completely shattered into a million pieces there as we went straight into the wall. So it is very, very realistic indeed. So this is going to be a very, very long stop, as you can see. I think this is going to go over 18 seconds. I think 18, 19, oh, it's going to be 20. Oh, yes, 20-second pit stop, and we rejoin the field. Where are we going to rejoin? With our brand new tyres, hopefully until the end of the race. Look at this, look, can you see the reflections on the car? Look at the reflections of the surfaces and the track going past. Wowzers. PS1 game, everyone. PS1 game. And they had reflections on the cars. Oh my goodness, yes, I'm having a nerdgasm. As we rejoin now in 8th position behind Ricardo Zonta in the BAR. Now, compared to last week's game, F1 World Grand Prix, this is an absolute world of difference. It really is. Yes, I can't tell you the difference between those two games as we try and go past some more back markers now. We've got the Minardi, the beautiful liveried Minardi of 2000, and we're trying to catch up once again to the back of Heinz-Harald Frentzen in the Jordan car on lap 41. Yes, lap 41 out of 52. Yes, 100% race distance at Indianapolis in the USA. So can we catch up to Heinz-Harald Frentzen? And I have to confirm now, because I've been looking off to the pits several times during these laps, that none of the other cars, I don't think so anyway, have come into the pits. So I think that none of the other cars have actually stopped in this race, which is very, very strange indeed. That's very weird. I can't work that out. In fact, I've never seen that in any of the shorter races. Of course, I haven't done a 100% race. I don't think I've ever done a 100% race on this game. But yeah, it looks like now the other cars, as we go a little bit wide there trying to get past Heinz-Harald Frentzen, have made a pit stop. Anyway, we will persevere and see if we can get some good points. Well, we got some points. We got 1 point at the moment in 6th place in our Jaguar car. Now, of course, one of the other complaints about this game is it's pretty obvious that the car performance seems to be pretty equal for all the cars. It doesn't matter what car you drive, you still seem to have about the same performance level. I have tested quite a few of the cars and they still seem to do about the same top speed as like the Mercedes cars. So yeah, it looks like they've all pretty much got a flat performance level in this game, which I think was probably due to the fact of the early release and they weren't quite sure what cars were going to be the quickest cars, so they basically just had to flatline it and make the performance pretty flat. Of course, there must be a little bit of a tweaking on the front cars, or maybe it's not, it's just the way that the cars end up on the track, how they finish, that it's pretty obvious that the Ferraris are going to be there somewhere. Maybe that's a reason, but I do think that the performance of the cars are completely flat when you compare it to some of the other games. When you're driving some of the back markers, you can really feel the difference between those and some of the top runners like the Ferrari cars. Anyway, lap 45, we get past Rubens Barrichello, so we're up into a podium position anyway. Yes, 3rd place at the moment, but Ruby's coming back at us. Oh, we got to try and get past. I think that's Jenson Button again. I think it's Jenson Button. Now, of course, unfortunately in this game, they had Jenson Button pretty much languishing at the back pretty much every race in this championship in 2000. Yes, so they weren't expecting him to do very well, I don't think, because, yes, if you look at the qualifying positions, which are pretty random, if you do a proper qualifying, as we've binned it once again, you'll see that Jenson Button usually ends up around about 17th or 18th position compared to Ralf Schumacher, which is usually up in around the 8th position mark. So yes, they weren't expecting very, very good things for Jenson Button in the races. So I don't know whether there is some kind of performance tweak in this game. Anyway, we accelerate forward at lap 50, trying to get past one of the other back markers. There's the orange arrows, which as you can see has got the wrong livery on the car. That's the livery from 1999, not the orange arrows, of course, from 2000, which they rectified, of course, in the later games, as I said earlier. So up into 3rd position now. 3rd position. Our next target is David Twat Coulthard. Yes, David Twat Coulthard. So overall, this game is I could recommend this game to anybody. I really could. It's a little bit tricky in the wet, and it's very, very difficult in the wet because you do spin the car from 1st gear to 3rd gear. Once you get past 3rd gear, you're okay. But yeah, you do spin the car a lot. So it does add to the game and make it a little bit more difficult. But in the dry, it's absolutely perfect. Now, there are a few more problems which I had to go through, and one of those is that if you put it on random for the weather, it always seems to be wet or it always seems to be dry. I've never seen it actually have variable weather. And unfortunately, I had to put this race onto dry because of that. So you can see that that's the reason why it hasn't started raining. Well, I've never seen it start to rain in this game, to be fair. I've never seen it start to rain. So there you go. I put it on dry, and as you can see, it's sort of produced a cloudy day, but it's never going to rain because it's on dry settings. But as I say, it seems to either be completely wet for the whole of the race or completely dry, and that goes for qualifying as well. So that's why I wanted to have it more realistic and rather have it on dry than sort of wet all the time, because it's quite boring in a race if it's raining for the entire period. So lap 51, just one more lap to go in our 100% Grand Prix on F1 2000 by EA Sports, made by Visual Sciences. Russell Kay was the bloke in charge, I should say, the bloke in charge, as he was for F1 98, but this time he was determined he was going to get it right, which was about bloody time, Russell, about bloody time. Yes, unfortunately he seems to have left the software industry completely. I have looked him up, and feel free to on Google. It's very, very difficult to find his name or any sort of association, but he seems to be involved in something to do with environmental wind power or something, which sort of says a lot for Russell Kay. But yes, so he seems to have completely left the software industry. Of course, he went on to make more games in this franchise for EA Sports. In fact, quite a few, because of course there was F1 Championship Edition, F1 2001, 2002, and of course Career Challenge was made once again by Visual Sciences until the license went exclusively to Sony, as we've been it on the last lap. Well done for Eddie, everyone. Yes, the license went exclusively to Sony in 2003, which meant unfortunately no more EA Sport games could be made for Formula 1, which was a sad ending in fact, because F1 Career Challenge was the last game which they had to incorporate 4 seasons, and that's why there was no F1 2003 for EA Sports, because Sony signed an exclusive deal which meant that no one else could make Formula 1 games. So there you go then, we crossed the line in 3rd position. I think we possibly would have won that if we hadn't have had the extra pit stop. Michael Schumacher won the race. Look at that, 1 hour and 1 minute. Oh my goodness. Coulthard was a second and a half behind. We were 14 seconds behind. I have to say the timings look pretty decent for a 100% race. I think they've got that just about right. It's gone all the way down to 11th place before it comes up as 1 lap, which I think is probably about right, to be fair. And so our journey is over on F1 2000 by EA Sports. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been awesome as always. And catch us again next week for the next 100% race game in the series. But which one will it be? Well, it's going to be... Nope, I'm not going to tell you.